Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here with more info on Adventure Awaits. So, they dropped a lot today. Not just the gameplay trailer, but also the Imaginary Friends Q&A in their official Discord. They also updated the first blog post with a bit more info, and there's finally some more info on the EA app page about Adventure Awaits, kind of like what they did with the past couple of expansion packs. And there is some interesting stuff within that. So since it's already getting late, and just to keep things less stressful for me, I'm just going to cover the gameplay trailer and the Imaginary Friends Q&A in today's video, and then tomorrow I'll do the rest. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into it, starting with my analysis of the gameplay trailer. I'll say I am shocked that this gameplay trailer is just under 4 minutes when Enchanted by Nature's was 6.5 and Businesses and Hobbies was 7.5, when this expansion pack seems to have more gameplay than both of them. But we're just starting with the Imaginary Friend narrating. So that's kind of cute. Turn into Imaginary Friends. They don't actually show us how to build a modular playground in build mode with the UI and all that stuff, so that's kind of weird. There are some things they've left out that have me scratching my head. For once, I think they've actually undersold a pack rather than overhyping it.
I win! Wait, did I win? I've got a rock.
I've got a rock! So we got 4 of the interactions here. Friends to the End and Imaginary Boost, I'm unclear still as to what those do. But then Send Back to Imaginary Land, that will turn them back into the doll form, and then Say Goodbye Forever is how you get rid of them if you don't want them around anymore.
No, I mean it.
So there you go. And there's the other 3 designs.
It was my duty to be there for my kid.
Imaginary Boost!
But every kid grows up.
Say Goodbye Forever, there it is.
Imaginary friends behind. Not Nigel. Our friendship.
But yeah, there you go. Offer to make real.
No goodbyes here.
So that's what that Imaginary Friend looks like the moment you make that one human. We'll see the other 3 later in this video with how they will look. Yeah, that's kind of pretty having that on the dock. And then, yeah, this looks like the Jellyfish Junction neighborhood. Kayaks, got the fishing dock over there. This might be a store, like a rabbit hole, but possibly? I don't know. And I think that might be a playable lot up there. This is kind of interesting. We have this model of Jellyfish Junction, kind of like in Brindleton Bay in Cats and Dogs. There's that model of Deadgrass Isle, though this one is quite a bit bigger. But yeah, this one's out in the neighborhood instead of being put into like a little room in a museum. Yeah, the geyser, going down the slide. Yeah, there we go. There's the sim diving. That screenshot. So that looks a lot better in motion with the full context. Yeah, those animations are cool. I'm so glad we finally have dumbbells. There's a spin class with the 2D mountain in the background. Hopefully Simsy Boy will do something cool with their mod, the mat replacements mod. But this hair is so nice, especially now that we got a much better look at it than we did in the reveal trailer. So yeah, 3 different getaway venues that are already there when you open up the game. And here we go. We got some samples of things we can set up here at the competition. So sleep, have breakfast. This is a pretty tight schedule. I hope this will work and not fall apart like My Wedding Stories does. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, have dinner, mix and mingle, but it is a competition. Someone's gonna get eliminated. There we go. Though I'm unclear if both of these Sims get eliminated or if it's just one of them. It might be both, but yeah, and then it's kind of like the screenshot we saw before. So the Imaginary Friend actually jumps off the dock without needing to climb down the ladder, so that's cool. And yeah, the child using the kayak. That's cool. Yeah, I got the bed and breakfast here. Nothing too much to really look at, but you can kind of see some of the backdrop here. But yeah, bed and breakfast. So we don't have our hotels pack yet, but we can make those at the very least.
Or maybe an evil villain.
Oh yeah.
Social hideaway.
Yeah, the whole like science camp thing. Yeah, we still really need like a table-sized microscope. That would be cool. So now we get to see the UI for planning a getaway. There's quite a lot to take in. So we have some presets here: fitness retreat, outdoor kids camp, romantic competition, cooking competition, cozy bed and breakfast, creativity retreat, senior living community, so retirement homes, and teen popularity contest. It's interesting. I don't know if this will change in the final game, but I just recognize this is like the new Maxis logo that's been around for a year or two at this point. But there's like, these are colorful, and then these ones aren't.
Existing getaway, since they already have built-in schedules.
And then you have, yeah, the sampling of the schedule. And yes, pack related things do integrate with that. We'll see an example at the end, but you can create roles. So 8 campers, 1 camp director, and 2 camp counselors. And then there's also a role library, but I'm still confused as to what that is.
But you can always make the days as full or as chill as you like.
Yeah, some flexibility there. You don't have to have every single one have like tons and tons of things, but yeah, it's a custom venue there. You can choose up to 6 nights, but you can have it be recurring weekly, and it doesn't have to start right away. You can also choose a day to start that.
Add some rules if you like.
And then up to 5 rules. So activity shuffle, grind set, mindset. That one will boost skills. I'll mention that in a minute. And then hardcore mode, whatever that means. House of Grudges, Love's in the Air, No Strings Attached, Renaissance Studio, Child Skills Elimination, Cooking Skills Elimination, Creative Skills Elimination, Player Choice Elimination. Wonder how that one's gonna work. Popularity Elimination, Romantic Elimination, and Survival of the Fittest Elimination.
A camp of little prodigies? Well, there's a rule to get them building skills faster.
Yeah, build skills faster with that. Grind set, mindset.
Another to send them packing.
The child skills elimination.
Choices could result in some formative moments for these.
Yes, so formative moments. This seems like it's kind of like bucket list, except it's for children. So an example here with Master Archery, I want a super cool bow like all the heroes have, like Green Arrow and Hawkeye, Katniss Everdeen. I bet I can win 3 archery contests. That'd prove how good I am, but it only says you're out of 2 and not 3, so that's kind of odd, but there we go. And then we'll actually get a benefit from this. 3 archery contests, 1. Yeah, so into archery as a kid trait. As an adult, they'll remain focused longer, so that's cool.
Focus.
Yeah, focus. So we'll take a more detailed look at this in tomorrow's video with the updated blog post with the lot sizes and all that. But I'll say here, there are 13 lots in total. 2 of them are water lots. I kind of wish we had 1 or 2 more water lots since it's so rare that we get them. But yeah, not a terrible number, even though I always wish we could have more. But yeah, I think I can work with that.
Let's shift focus away from
Got the lighthouse there. 50 by 50.
Create your own. Or try one create.
I really hope they update the gallery at some point. Like, it's so overdue. But I think this is just trailer magic. Yeah, this! What is this? I don't know. That's the first time I'm seeing that. And there's also, like, these practice targets, which I didn't see before. Because, yeah, there was, like, that one on the left that we've obviously seen. But and then, custom venue. So they make a bakery. This is opening time at 8 a.m. There's different roles here. Custom role, instructor and staff, role library. And then, yeah, we'll have like some behaviors. So there's some overlap with things we've seen before in clubs and businesses. It is kind of funny. It's businesses and hobbies. It's not even a year old, and they're already kind of re-exploring that. But it is different, and this seems like it might be even better. And even Cupcake Factory's included it in the cooking rule there. And hopefully the things from various packs, like the popcorn maker or like the waffle maker. Yeah, so there's like that example there. Oops. Oh, yeah. So there's one custom role, 6 bakers, 1 staff, and 1 instructor.
And if you want, you can host all kinds of getaways there, like an amazing cooking competition.
Yeah, so then the getaway is the competition here. They're all wearing jellyfish hats except for the imaginary friend. I do like how the propeller is animated at all times.
Someone's a little competitive.
And yeah, it got salty because it was competitive but lost.
Other possibilities are out there.
Yeah, I love it when they show pack integration. But yeah, so this interaction show requires Sims 4 Seasons, a classic. Heck yeah. Sims 4 Vampires, oh, spooky. And the Sims 4 Island Living, what's an Outlast challenge without it? Susul Island, yeah, Survivor. I remember watching that show as a kid a lot.
With a vampire on a tropical island.
Yeah. Drink plasma, so there's an example of a pack integrated activity, but yeah. So random. The narration's pretty funny. Cimitan Sea. Oh, this is interesting. So at the back here, it looks like this pond is still part of the lot, yet the sim is kayaking on it, because it's like with the water vehicles in Island Living, you would just use them in a pool or in open bodies of water, but okay. The kayaks might be even more flexible than them, so that's very interesting. And then there's also, it's kind of hard to see, but there are butterflies fluttering about, so maybe there's a lot trait or challenge that makes it so that we can collect butterflies on that lot. So that would be a partial resolution to my complaint from the previous video about how it's like, oh man, I want butterflies to be in more worlds than just Gibby points. I mean, that makes sense. It's more realistic that way. Though it still makes sense to keep the rarest ones to Gibby point. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of that. Now for the Imaginary Friends Q&A with SimGuru Nova. So each of the 4 imaginary friends have a unique made real look that is consistent based on their original child imaginary form. So if you make Pretty Pegacorn real, she will always look like this at first, but once made real as a teen, you can take them into cast and customize if you wish, just like any other sim. And there are all 4 of their looks the moments that you make them real. I think Pretty Pegacorn is my favorite. I forgot to mention during the analysis, but the imaginary friend form reminds me a lot of Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Here's something that surprised me though. By default, Pretty Pegacorn is the evil one. So the little monster is a goofball, Crafty Kid is creative, and Wild Child is competitive. But that can be customized before turning the doll into the imaginary friend. So you could, for example, have the Crafty Kid be evil and the Pegacorn be a goofball if that's what you want to do. Now, how do you get an imaginary friend doll? You just get it from build mode. I was hoping there would also be a more magical way of getting one through gameplay. I guess I could have a retail store sell imaginary friend dolls, but yeah. You can tell it secrets, pour their heart out, and carry it around. Then the requirements to make them into an actual imaginary friend: reach creativity level 3, befriend the doll. As you play with it or talk to it, you will gain relationship visible in the relationship panel, or be suffering from loneliness, so much so that the child needs a friend. A child can only have one imaginary friend at a time. So what you could do is do the say goodbye forever interaction on the one you currently have, and then purchase a new doll to switch it up. But how could you? Don't worry about townies suddenly having their own imaginary friends running amok. That will not happen. Thank goodness. An imaginary friend's personality will shape their entire set of interactions with the child. So they'll recommend different activities to do together based on personality. Creative ones will recommend arts and crafts. Competitive might recommend active activities, or competitive ones like video games. Evil ones will recommend mischief and other bad behavior. Also, if you have an evil imaginary friend, the child can practice mean interactions on them, strengthening their relationship. the evil imaginary friend will love it and encourage it. Then eventually, if the child heeds the advice of the evil imaginary friend enough, they will gain the budding evil persona trait, which might allow them to discover the evil trait when they age up to teen if they so choose. Also, imaginary friends who are evil can teach children how to set fires. Wow, that actually sounds pretty fun. Are there any cross-pack features involving imaginary friends? Tons! Yes, that's what I like to hear. They will recommend oodles and oodles of activities from across all packs based on personality. For example, creative ones may suggest cross-stitching if you own cottage living, or knitting for nifty knitting, etc. One other question is, can older Sims with the childish trait be able to make imaginary friends and see them? The answer is no. Only children can make imaginary friends, and only the child that imagines them up can see them. Once your child sim that made an imaginary friend ages up to a teen, if they were good enough friends with their imaginary friend, they can offer to make real on the doll, which allows them to turn their imaginary friend into a real teen sim. So it's good incentive not to neglect or be mean to them as a kid. When you do turn one into a real teen sim, they join the household but as a roommate, but you can adopt them into the family if you wish. They will have a randomized name for a fresh start as a real sim, but that's something you can always change and create a sim to your heart's desire. Imaginary friends turned into real sims are not considered an occult. They're just a normal sim. There's no special trait passed down, which in my opinion, that's not a great thing. I would have loved for there to be some kind of distinction that a sim was once an imaginary friend. I guess a mod will have to cover that. However, their human form outfits are unlockable in Create a Sim if they're made real or through a cheat. So I guess you could still just leave them in the default outfit or just not change it a whole lot. Next question is, are there any unique moodlets / interactions between the sim who can see the imaginary friend with those who can't? And the answer is yes. Children will get a variety of different buffs / interactions unique to their imaginary friend. Other sims will just see them talking to no one, like a sim with the erratic trait. Is there any way a sim other than the child who has the imaginary friend can see them? Nope, they are invisible. Other sims will still see the doll sitting on the ground. The sim who has the imaginary friend, the doll disappears when they spawn in their imaginary friend form, and the actual imaginary friend is walking around, interactable, etc. Last question I'm going to cover is, I just want to know if they're like Patchy and if you can have children with them. When they become real, sure, they're a real sim. Just, you know, they have to become an adult first. That's it for now. So this Q&A really sold me on the imaginary friends. I was not a fan of them in The Sims 3. They crit me out. I almost never use them. But even though they still are a little creepy here, I think I like their designs more, and also like the evil one really intrigues me. It's like with that one, it really leans into the creepy factor more, so it actually kind of works for me in a weird way. I feel there was a missed opportunity to not try and sneak in a cameo of the evil imaginary friend helping a child start a fire, even though the goofball was obviously the focus of this trailer. Now, tomorrow, I'll be talking about more stuff related to the world, the career, and some other stuff through the EA app and the updated blog post. And then this weekend, I'm actually gonna do a mod review, which is pretty fun. So yeah, you may already know what that is if you follow me on social media. And that wraps up another Sims Info and Thoughts video. So feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on Adventure Awaits. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I'll talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.